Alrighty, you're listening to the Roots Podcast. We're joined now by Ira Wolf. We're excited to be interviewing her. Ira, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So we're bringing you on for a special interview because I guess we're all isolated to our homes. So
Right.
we can just get on the phone and talk to each other. But in all seriousness, you've been through a lot the last couple of weeks. Obviously, the tornadoes that came through Nashville, we posted, we shared on the Musictree Festival Facebook page how that impacted you. And then we turned around with the coronavirus and what's going on with COVID-19. So it's been kind of a crazy couple of weeks for you. But how's everything holding up in Nashville?
Man, Nashville feels very strange right now. It's been kind of surreal and a little apocalyptic here. The tornado was really devastating. I had never experienced that kind of a natural disaster firsthand, and we actually just bought a house here in East Nashville in November.
Wow.
And we were very, very lucky right where we were at. The tornado kind of just hopped straight over our house and didn't do any damage. So we were really lucky with that, but a lot of our neighbors and businesses around us were not so lucky. So yeah, it's been strange trying to watch Nashville recover from that and then immediately be thrown into, this pandemic where so many of us in Nashville and, musicians across the country, we make a living by touring and by doing public events with people at them. So it's been hard hitting for our industry to see all of those things just immediately disappear and kind of work through the cancellations as they come.
So with, the news of COVID-19, escalating rapidly, and everything that went on and all that was in our minds and our hearts, seeing you do your concert from the couch the other night, I mean, it instantly lifted my spirits, and I contacted Ryan and he was already watching. What kind of brought that about?
I think the need for community was probably the biggest thing for that. As soon as I announced the cancellations online, I immediately had people reaching out asking if I could do some kind of virtual concert in its place. At first, it was mostly people that already had tickets to the shows in California that I was supposed to be doing in the coming weeks. And I thought that was just kind of a neat way to be able to connect with people. I'm stuck at home, and I know that everybody else is probably stuck at home. So I thought that was kind of a unique experience that we were all able to isolate, but then we were all still able to connect and share some love and music and a little bit of happiness at a safe distance.
Absolutely. Well, Ira, you were one of our first headliners that we actually were able to book this year, and we were super stoked about it because we reached out. We actually reached out to you. We were fans. We're fans beforehand. And then we're happy to say that you're one of our first headliners to reconfirm, if you will, with the postponement of the Musictree Festival. We'll get into Musictree a little bit later in the summer and talk about how that's going to go. But just as these cancellations have rolled in, do you have plans, or does some of these events have plans, or are they working with you to reschedule? Or a lot of this, I'm assuming for musicians, they're just losing these gigs because there's a lot of people have fall tours coming up as well.
Yeah, it's weird right now. Things are a little bit in limbo just because we don't know how long this is going to last or how bad it's going to get.
Exactly.
So initially we had just kind of postponed the spring tour and moved it to the fall tour, which is great. I'm really excited that we were able to reschedule a lot of those shows for later in the year. The downside of that is that I would already be playing those shows in the fall anyway.
Exactly,
So it's not necessarily making up for the lost revenue of the shows, but I am glad that we're at least able to get some new dates on some of those. The other side of that is that, we're not sure what's going to happen for the rest of the summer. So I don't really know I can't say too much. We're kind of just rolling with the punches as we find out more news. But hoping that we can get a really great fall tour going. Everything for me personally from March, April, May, and now June has all been canceled. So I'm looking at July and hoping that I'll be able to be back on the road in July, and then just kind of stay on the road through October and November. But yeah, I think I wish I knew more, but I'm a little up in the air with everybody else.
Yeah, I can speak from our standpoint. You know, we've postponed our dates, but that's going to have a lot to do with how this thing goes, and hopefully everyone following directions. It's rapidly moved away from just washing your hands. It's a little bit more important than that. So in the meantime, you know, this is something that we're going to focus on as a festival. We're very much, you know, we support our artists from start to finish, and I think it's something neat that we do. I think our previous artists will tell you we're constantly supporting our alumni, and so it's definitely something. This is unique. So before you've performed at Musictree, we're going to support you and several others. What are we doing in the meantime? How are we going about performing? What can we expect next from you? I know you have the COVID-19 concert from the couch. The Scotch edition coming up on Sunday. Tell us a little bit about that and what we're going to be expected from you in this time of kind of silence.
Sure. Right now, I'm kind of just trying to take this time to be as productive as possible from home and get some writing done, get some recording done, hopefully release a new single here within the next few weeks. And then, doing these live stream concerts, again, I think is a really cool way to still be able to share music and connect with people and even supplement a little bit of the income that we're losing. So I'll be doing another concert from the couch this Sunday night at 7 p.m. Central. And awesome. I recently returned from the UK. I just did my first UK tour, and so I brought a whole bunch of scotch back with me. So I will be sampling all of my scotch and sharing songs.
Oh, so this should be interesting.
It's going to get more and more fun the longer that the live stream lasts.
Oh, gosh. Tune in early, tune in late. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a completely different show.
Absolutely.
So we know that you're musically talented, obviously.
Thank you.
Also, I've noticed if we go to your website, you have your handcrafted line. Can you tell us a little bit? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. I lived in a van for a very long time, and one of my good friends from the van life days, her name is Haley, and she taught me how to weave a couple of years ago. And so I started making these hand-woven wall hanging creations in my free time. And now I have a lot more time to sit on the couch and keep my hands busy. So, so I've been weaving a lot and putting some of those up on my website for sale.
Awesome. Speaking of living in the van, I believe you wrote a song about that.
Oh, yes. I've written many, many songs in the van, about the van. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Well, Ira, thanks for joining us. There's a couple other things. We'll go ahead, Grow.
Yeah. One more thing I wanted to ask real quickly. You obviously have some dedicated fans who already know about a lot of this stuff. For those who are tuning into you through Musictree, I noticed you set up a Patreon account. What are some ways, for people who are just now, catching on to Ira Wolf, what are some ways that they, if they want to reach out and support or reach out and help during this time, that they can do so?
Yeah, I am brand new to Patreon. It's a very cool platform for musicians and just artists and creative types in general to be able to share things with the community and be paid for those creations. So while all of this is happening, I will be posting things to my Patreon page, meaning new songs, new videos, kind of behind the scenes looks at my songwriting process and my recording process. And people can just go to that page and they can pledge any amount to get access to that content. And then as that platform continues to grow, I'll be doing private live stream concerts on there for members of that group.
Nice.
And other, patron only activities to kind of give a special thank you to people that are helping financially support artists during all of this.
Fantastic. Ira, thanks for joining us so much today. Before we go, though, someone wants to pitch in, someone wants to get involved in Patreon, someone wants to buy some merch, they want to buy some music, where can they go and what can they look for?
Absolutely. You can find me online at irawolfmusic.com. If you want to go directly to Patreon, it's patreon.com/irawolfmusic. Same thing on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Everything is at Ira Wolf Music. But yeah, you can kind of link through everything straight from my website.
Thanks again so much. We'll be keeping up with you, and we'll be in touch. And anything that we can do to help from our standpoint, feel free to reach out. We'll do everything that we can do.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. You take care of yourselves out there.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.
That was Ira Wolf. And right now we're going to play you to close it out, Whiskey and Company with Ira Wolf and Zach Joseph.
Good friend Jack on the rocks, time too late on the clock. A long day done and all I want to be is drunk. I looked away by accident, gave a little smile but never meant for anything. Boy, don't go getting your hopes up, 'cause I don't know about you and you don't know about me. And if I bat my eyes, I bet you buy me a drink. Right now, whiskey's good enough company. I don't know about you and you don't know about me. And I'm drinking alone, but I ain't lonely, 'cause right now, whiskey's good enough company.
You only had one thing on my mind, to get nice and drunk, forget the time. You look my way, tell me there's the sign. It's gonna get nice in your whiskey bed, and cold this bar, still my best friend. Change isn't always bad, I'll give you a try. 'Cause I don't know about you and you don't know about me, but I guess you're kinda cute and I could buy you a drink. But right now, whiskey's good enough company. I don't know about you and you don't know about me. I'm drinking alone, but I ain't lonely. And right now, whiskey's good enough company.
Yes, I'll move a little closer.
I was hoping that you might.
Let's close around the corner. Your drink's on me. Tell me what you like. 'Cause I didn't know about you,
Now you know about me,
but I batted my
and I
eye.
bought you a drink.
Here's your whiskey, here's your good company. I didn't know about you,
Now you know about me,
but I batted my
and I
eye.
bought you a drink.
Here's your whiskey, here's your good company.
Here's your whiskey, here's your good company. Here's your whiskey, here's your good company.